How much longer? 2 minutes? It's already set up, and I'm sorry, but I already pressed live. So I'll just talk for a couple of minutes. Hey, folks, Lester here. I will soon be joined by Jami. Her seat is already pulled out. However, she could not make the 8 o'clock deadline. I told her we're going live at 8, Jami. Oh, well, I know you can hear me. I'm not making this up. So she had to do the whole girl makeup thing, and she wasn't quite ready in time. I says, Jami, people are going to think that we're not going to go live if we're not on by 8, because 8's already pretty late. Now, I know that's already 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We got a little bit earlier on the West Coast, but the folks over in the UK are sound asleep right now, or they're just waking up. Who knows? And I says, Jami, we can't keep holding it off. And then if I'm not sitting here so I call it the green room. It's the room that we can see what you're saying, but you can't see us yet. And then this lady here, Becca, she writes, can you guys just picture them squabbling about trying to set up for this live? And she put a smiley face because I just love it. And that's actually what we were doing. We were doing that. So, no, we weren't squabbling. It's funny though. I actually was making a list. I was making a list of things that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I have a pretty extensive list here of things I wanted to talk about. I know you're all rolling your eyes at me. If you think Jami can roll eyes, I know you guys are all rolling your eyes right now. But oh, great, Lester made a list. Here we go. Lester has a list. No, and then I also was going to possibly share a letter that I received from a lady named Vicky, who's in New Hampshire. A pretty neat letter, and she wrote about a way that she and I are connected, and I didn't even realize it. And then it's how crazy, how small of a world we live in when a sweet lady from New Hampshire and I have a personal connection. And I was going to share that letter if we have time, but we're never going to get started if we don't get started. So we do have both platforms on. We have StreamYard going on my laptop, and that's our preferred method, but Facebook doesn't let us do that. So we also have Facebook set up over here on our phone. The problem with Facebook, and don't kill the messenger, is that Facebook has to be up and down, my friends. It's not something that Jami and I love. Will you fill this up for me real fast? Jami's actually here, and I'm going to send her on a second mission. And there goes the eye rolls. Jami's out of the shower. She's all prettied up. Got some pretty dress on.
Washed my hair and dried my hair in 12 minutes.
She did all of those things in 12 minutes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave up this thing from Becca. But no, I was going to say that Facebook asks us to go up and down. That's better for their platform. And that's because, Facebook is making it where you can't really stream to the TV anymore. And so you're watching it from your device or from your phones. And so that's their preferred method of delivery. Thank you so much. And you do look beautiful. Thanks. Let's make sure we can both. Now, it's easy to see us on Facebook, or I'm sorry, on the YouTube. Because we are horizontal. What?
I was saying hello.
Oh, I thought you were trying to high five me.
I hurried up and slammed some water down my throat, so I didn't sound like I had.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were high fiving me. And so, are you okay with the way we're set up here? I feel like I'm kind of like taking up all the space.
How's that? Is that better? That's better.
I don't know how long I can keep my bad shoulder at this angle, but I will certainly try. It'd be easier if I could put my shoulder up here, but that looks very buddy-ish. Like now we're like buddies, and that I'm gonna have to put my hand in your lap. I need to put my arm across just for bad shouldering, guys. I'm not trying to posture here like I'm in front. I'm in the front. I'll be happy to switch sides with you.
You can be the small spoon anytime you want.
Small spoon. Talking about small spoon. Can we talk about? Can I go get small spoon? Can I bring small spoon in here real fast?
Okay.
I will be right back. I'm going to leave Jami alone for a couple of minutes with y'all. I'm going to go grab the small spoon, and we're going to talk about why we call him Small Spoon. I'll be right back. It's all yours, babe.
Y'all need to decompress from that little 5,000 word 2-minute intro because I wasn't even here, and I feel like I need to decompress from that because somebody's a little bit up here today, and I'm gonna need him here, just right here, just calm, cool, relaxed, hang out with y'all.
I am always in high gear. Everyone knows me. I am always.
I just told everybody that you're like here today, and I need you right here.
Yeah, I'm always in high gear.
Speaking of high gear.
So listen, Facebook, not to worry. The videos are coming. I'm sorry, YouTube. I got to get my stuff straight, Jamie.
Dave, are you okay?
No, I'm not. Today, Facebook was bombarded with this one right over here. And of
the Triple
course,
B, bombarded with Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob. And of course, I believe tomorrow, YouTube, you're going to get your dousing.
Ooh,
and so for all of you that double dip, sorry, you got to double dip on Billy Bob tomorrow. But listen, the reason that we are nicknaming him, and this is not an official nickname, but a Little Spoon, is because we have never seen an animal more needy. When I say needy, he will not let you have this much space. You don't get this much space. He needs to be held constantly. He sleeps in the bed. He needs to be held if we're driving, if we're sitting. You think that I'm high strung? If you put him down alone, he just goes bananas. And it was so crazy how for a week he wouldn't come to us. And now he will not let us put him down. And we don't work that way. Jamie and I work. We work. And we can't keep an eye on him the way he
has. So this is something I started to make a video about. But with each rescue, we have found their, I don't know if it's greatest desire, but it's their greatest panic. It's their PTSD point. So with Christmas, it was food. Christmas could, like, if food was in front of her, she was going to eat it, and to the point that it would make her sick. And she was so aggressive towards food that that was her thing. And she didn't really, she wanted love, but not greatly. With Stella, it was about safety and protection
of her daddy.
And yes, and of those that she cared about, but of herself as well. Like safety and protection was her thing. And for him, he doesn't care about food. And he doesn't care about safety and protection. There's videos coming out about that. But what he does care about is love and touch.
Yeah. So we were laughing. We were sitting just a few minutes ago out in the hot tub, and he was just screaming to get in. He just had to be held. So Jamie's trying to lean over the little inflatable hot tub. We have the inflatable hot tub. And Jamie's trying to lean over the hot tub and hold him. And I'm like, he just needs to be held. And she said something about like a little spoon. And I'm like, that is exactly what he is a little spoon. And we created this little fake dating profile that if there were going to be a dating profile for Billy Bob here, I think the title should be, I'm the little spoon, or seeking my big spoon, or something. Seeking big spoon for little spoon, because he only wants to be like cuddled and like held, and he just wants to be there all the time.
Yeah.
And poor Jami, when she goes out to the horses, well, the horse and donkey, she has to put him into a little crate. We have to crate him. Because he goes out there and gets himself into trouble.
He's so oblivious to everything else,
all
his
the
surroundings,
yes,
that he will get hurt. Like, he is not conscious of anything other than wanting me to hold him.
And the whole time he's howling and barking and moaning and whining to be picked up and held.
And I feel bad because I know that he has abandonment issues. I know that there's a piece of his story here that he's trying to tell us. But at the same time, his safety is of utmost importance. So he does during chore time. Billy Bob has to go in his little kennel, and we've never ever had to do that before, ever. You'll see videos coming out this week, but he is a gentle little loving, like he's very needy, and I just think that it's interesting that each rescue has had this different cry out loud need And I know, baby, I know. And that his is the most profound
touch.
love.
He just needs touch. His love language is for sure physical touch, and all the time, and never stop, like never. He would be the kind of guy that if he was your partner, he would he would suffocate you with affection. You'd be like grasping for air.
He's kind of a stage 5 clinger, okay?
Stage 5. We all have our clinging issues, but oh my goodness, no, he's bad, y'all.
Oh,
and if we
for the right situation, for the right person, he will make a fabulous partner. And he's fine with other dogs, like, you know, all of that, but he wants a lap. He wants a lap, and he wants love, and I don't think there's a male female difference. I think that he took to me first, simply probably because I had more time to sit.
Yeah.
But for his forever home, it will have to be someone who has time.
Yeah. So that is going to have to, seriously, if we decide, and when that time comes to look for his forever home, that person needs to be the kind of person that, you know what? All I got is time. All I got is this couch and sofa, and I need someone right here in my lap, because that's where, if you work and if you're gone and if you got kids and you got the grandkids and you're on the run, no, this one over here needs you and only you, and a lot of it. And he needs to be in the bed at night, or he's going to get on the floor beside you and just scream and holler to get up there with you.
He has a little bit of a coyote yell, okay? But
I do love him. It sounds like I don't love him. That's a white hair. That's someone has commented, let's have something on your face. Tell everyone what that is right there. It's a gray hair.
It's wisdom.
It's a wisdom hair, and it does. it does. I saw the comment on YouTube. I'm like, and so I do this kind of. I don't know if y'all saw it, real casually, kind of like this over here. I'm like,
no,
it's still there. Hair. And then I realized it's a white hair. Jamie, can you pull it out for me? This is gonna hurt, y'all, but you got to do what you got to do.
I can't.
You have to. Not really.
There's 3 in one spot. That's what it is.
Jamie, it hurts, but you got to get it because everyone's talking about it, and now they won't let it go.
I can't.
It's gone. No, it's still there.
I'm telling you, there's 3 of them there.
It's been a stressful week. We'll just say it's been a stressful week. We did do a DNA test. That will all be for stuff for later. So I'm laughing at some of the guesses that you guys are coming up with, because Jamie and I have played with the internet so much. We've Googled every possible thing.
I heard tonight that he's a schnoodle. I thought that was the funniest named one, but there were some that people sent that I had never heard of before. So when the DNA test comes back, we'll know more. But we are, as we're learning more about him, and you know, it's interesting because with the other 2 earning their trust meant being able to put our hands on them. With him, earning his trust is the trust of that will come back. Yeah. That will come back. It's not even. It's so different with him. I just believe that his story is in that somewhere, and I feel bad for him because his greatest fear is being left
alone. Someone says you should reach out to Rick. I reached out to Rick. That's Think Like a Horse, but that was with the puppies, and Rick said absolutely not. He doesn't have time for things like that, and so no. Rick may talk, but no, Rick does not want another dog right now, or at least he didn't want any of our puppies, because I offered him Rocky when Rocky became available, and because everyone said Rick needs a dog, and Rick said no, he's not down for that. So why don't you talk about Mississippi real fast, and for all those folks who are experiencing tough and rough weather today.
There has been some weather, even North Texas. I mean, we had some weather, but nothing like Mississippi has had happen in the last 24 hours. And I have read, and I have seen, and I have personal work contacts and hospitals that I manage there, and have heard just some of the horrific tragedies that have gone in there. We would love to help.
Oh, come here.
Sorry.
Ouch.
You okay?
I'm just gonna put him back.
Oh yeah. We're just how do I say this the right way? Our thoughts and prayers are absolutely out for those that were affected by the storm. And if there's a way that we can help, we would love to be able to pay a blessing forward. We can't go. I think that our best way would be to send resources. And so if you know someone that's in need, please do let us know. Weather right now, I mean, it's spring, and in the Midwest, this is where tornado season begins. It's a little bit early. So I know that that's happening in Mississippi right now. Are you okay?
I can't get my shoulder comfy. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be comfy. Go ahead.
Anyway, what I was saying is we know that tornado season is starting in many parts of the country. Hurricane season is around the corner as well. And there's just a lot of tragedies that are happening. California is still being affected by all of the crazy amounts of snow, and Reno and everywhere else, the crazy amounts of snow, and then the flooding that's following it. And just the message that we have always said is to just be kind, and sometimes even just checking in on those that are even acquaintances of you. If you know that they may be going through something or may be affected by something, that little reach out is crazy important.
I did reach out to Jason over at Cog Hill. Now, of course, they're there in Alabama, and they said the weather's pretty rough around them, but they're all fine for now. This is a cute comment. Lisa says she would have called the dog Sam Elliott. You know Sam Elliott, the actor, because that dog is a lot like a Sam Elliott, and that's kind of cute. That's funny, Lisa. That would have been a good name. Go ahead.
Billy Bob, when I first saw him in the shadows, he just hit the way that the hair hung in his face, and he just looked so scruffy. He reminded me of that movie, the one where he's like, it ain't got no gas in it. You know that movie?
Oh.
Somebody in the comments knows the name of that movie. It is an iconic Billy Bob Thornton movie. Anyway, that's what he looked like in the shadows coming out from underneath that trailer. And so he just kind of struck me as Billy Bob. But Sam Elliott would have been a great one, too, because whenever I got home and Sling Blade, thank you, Sling Blade, that was the name of the movie. Whenever I got home and messing with his hair, he had a handlebar mustache before we took him to be trimmed. So Sam Elliott would have been hilarious as well. He's a really special dog. I don't want Lester's description of him to ward off anybody who is considering.
Oh, I hope that I didn't do that him
you
wrong.
Know, like his neediness is endearing, and it's part of his story, and it's it does get better the more that you reassure him and the more that you're around. Like I even knew today, the more time that I spent with him going with me, like going to water the trees and check on the plants and then unload groceries and walk out to the pasture just to the edge, the more that I realized that I could show him like you're going with me was better. But he definitely is a companion animal, like a full-on companion animal.
Yeah. And Jami has taken him to the vet. Well, we took him to the vet, but Jami has made that video. When's that coming out? I'm curious.
It'll be out on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Jami's Tuesday video. And we will put it on both channels, so you'll have to be patient.
I know you can't see it right now, but our entire counter is full of meds. It is ridiculous the way the counter looks because we have a Stella section, we have a Dixie section, we have a Christmas section, and then we have a Billy Bob section. And then that's not even counting what's in I'm a Survivor and what's lined up. Like we look like we run a pharmacy here. But everybody has special needs and things that we're treating and going through. And together we are managing it all. And the best way we know how to manage it is to leave it out in front of us so that we have a routine of what goes where, because it's something.
We are blessed that all of them take it easy.
Yes.
The pills, we're not having to force anything down. We are tricking them sometimes into eating certain things, but the pills, we're able to get them down usually the first time. No one is smart enough to spit it back up. Some animals are smart and they will wait a minute.
You know who's the most smart
wait a
dog
minute and they'll spit it back
when
out.
it comes to pills that we've ever had?
Ritzy? Trixie's tough. Yeah.
Trixie. Well, and now she knows that we put it in things. So everything we get her, she thinks has a pill in it or that we're poisoning her.
Wait a minute. You're feeding me by hand. What's going on?
She'll smell it and be like, no. Even when there's nothing in it, she'll totally pass because she's just fearful. And she's never been on any long-term meds. That's just been for her, flea meds, flea tick treatment, that type of thing. Like she has never been one that had a full regimen of treatment. So her weirdness just blows my mind.
something else about all of these meds are it's not just capsules of pills.
Oh no.
There are sprays and
Hold on,
there's a mousse.
This is Dixie's. It's a
powders. There's shampoos. You're not going to reach all of those, but there are so many
cream. We have pills. We have ear
squirt
fluids.
Bottles
yes, we have
ear stuff.
Eye drops. We have ear pumps. We have.
We
really have a pharmacy, legit pharmacy.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of meds laid out across the kitchen counter here. So we're having to eat and work around all of that.
If anybody ever broke into here and walked in and saw, they would be
like, "Oh, these poor people." They turn around and leave. They would leave like, "Oh my God, that's horrible." But that's bad. But no, we do think that all of the dogs are going to be fine. I think it's really powerful that Billy Bob did stand up to Stella. Of course, we all have talked about Stella. There's been videos out about Stella and her overly aggressive behavior when it comes to not wanting anyone around when there's food or when there's love being shared. And of course, Jami was sitting there having coffee, I believe, holding Billy Bob, and Stella comes up all, rough and tough, and she gets right up in Billy Bob's face and starts that growl, and Billy Bob snapped at her, and Stella like, what the, oh.
Yeah, okay, Stella, that was the first person to ever stand up to Stella.
And Stella did not retaliate. She turned around and walked away. And so we are proud of Billy Bob for that. I'm probably getting everything wrong. People are going to be so upset with me for being proud of a dog for standing up for itself and for.
Well, I think it's because we've seen Stella kind of try to become the alpha here, and
she has, yes.
And to see Billy Bob not take any crap,
yeah,
to be the
smallest dog who has not taken any mess from her at all. And so
nobody's fighting, nobody's at each other's throats. They all get along. They eat individually. Like all of that is fine. It was just about space, and it was just
yeah. So I'm going to address this comment because Terry keeps saying it. Terry, yes, there's been a vet check,
but we were at the vet on Friday.
Terry, we make videos for a living, and so we videoed our vet visit. And what that means is we have to edit videos, upload videos, and
I can prove it.
And then we schedule videos. You don't got to prove it to Terry.
Look, Terry, see that? For Billy Bob. I'm telling you.
So listen, stop all that nonsense. We would not have an animal around our other animals if, in fact, the vet did not say that it's safe to do so. And so, yes. The Billy Bob spent his days in the cell or in the stall.
He did his time.
He did his time, and there's nothing that he's going to spread to anybody. And so we made certain of that before we had him around the other animals. That's kind of gets back to what the discussion was about on Friday's video, which I don't want to redo all of that, but a lot of folks they don't understand real time and Facebook, YouTube time. You want to talk about that a little bit and explain what people are seeing on any channel? It doesn't matter if it's Cog Hill or Arms Family.
You know how you see a season of Ozark and then it ends and you can't wait for the next season to come out and it takes like a whole year? Well, we're really blessed to be able to do it for you in like 2 days instead of a whole year like a Netflix series does.
Yeah.
So we don't walk around with our camera filming live every day, all day. We film, we edit, we upload, and then
we schedule.
And for me personally, I only have Saturday, Sunday to make videos. So my videos are generally recorded on maybe Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then they're played over the next week. So most of the time when you're seeing my videos, I'll say it's Saturday or it's Sunday or it's Friday night or whatever the case is. But I work full time, so I can't be outside from sunup to sundown making videos like the rest of the content creators. And even those that do, they don't we do not post in real time. We like to be able to give ourselves a little bit of grace period to handle the rest of the chores and life and then bring that to you in a day or so.
Yeah, so we will bring them. Videos come to you as soon as they can get to you. But I was also talking about how all of the older creators, as far as Kim, my dad, you, me, Uncle Dan, all of our videos are scheduled. So they're recorded one day. We take the time to edit, upload, and then schedule. We like our videos to come out at a certain time of day. It's important to us because we're from the generation where you all know that your program comes on at 5 o'clock or at 7 o'clock. You get used to a schedule. And so all of us from the older generation, it's important to us that we all schedule. That's just who we are. We schedule our videos. So you know that every single morning at 5 a.m., there's going to be an I'm a Survivor video on Facebook. And you also know every morning at 7 a.m., there's going to be a Longhorn Lester video on Facebook. And then the YouTube folks know exactly what time they're going to see their Suits to Boots. 6 a.m., I believe, right? 12 noon for I'm a Survivor, 3 p.m. So what we do is we schedule. We want people to know exactly what time it's going to happen. The other creators, the younger creators, don't do that. They don't understand. That's not a concept that has been ingrained in them. They've never waited to watch The Love Boat like I used to do, just so I could see
they've
Julie.
had everything on demand.
They've had everything on demand. And so what they do is they go out and make a video and they post it as soon as they're ready. I mean, the same day, the 5 minutes later. And I'm not, no. I hope that I'm not scolding and talking mess about the younger generation.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're shaking your finger. It's
what I'm trying to say is, but there is a difference in your video creators. And I talked about this a little bit on, yes, I did watch The Love Boat. I was actually, Julie was the first love of my life. That was the stewardess, I guess you would call it.
I didn't even know. I've never seen Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
I know what it is. I just never got to watch it.
Soon we'll be making another run. Oh boy. The Love Boat. Yes. So all of our videos are scheduled. And so those come out on a schedule because we think that our people like to know what time they can expect certain videos to come out. And that gives you guys a routine as well. So that was what I was trying to say about real time versus a day later, 2 days later, and so forth. Yes. So Julie was the cruise director on The Love Boat. Thank you, Lisa.
I only got to watch Gilligan's Island. That was a favorite of mine. Swiss Family Robinson, of course, the movie.
How about The Ghost and Mrs. Muir?
No, I don't know what that is.
No, I think that might even be older than me, even though I used to watch it as reruns, obviously. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. There was a woman who lived in a haunted house, and I think that she and the ghost had like a little thing.
Really?
The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. Someone tell me if I'm not making that up.
I watched I Dream of
Ghost
Jami
and Mrs. Muir.
and Bewitched. And then I'm trying to think of what other old school TV shows that would be on. I mean, we had 3 channels, you know. Actually, sometimes
The
4.
Dukes of Hazzard. Man, we can go through all the different eras. The Dukes of Hazzard.
I didn't get to watch that either.
You don't know about, well, you wouldn't know about Daisy Dukes, Bo
I know about it, but it wasn't a show that it wasn't on, I guess.
Oh.
We watched, well, in my junior high years, like Full House was on after school, and Saved by the Bell, and then Family Matters.
Andy Griffin, someone said. I Dream of Jeannie. Oh man, so Jamie, we are connecting with the whole of the Incredible Hulk. We are connecting with a lot of folks from probably my generation more than yours. Guys, don't forget, I'm 10 years her senior. Fantasy Island. Oh my God. The plane. You don't know about that, do you? The tattoo, his name was Tattoo, and he was the helper, or whatever you would call the helper, and he would spot the plane as it would fly over, and Mr. Rourke would take whoever the passengers were on their fantasy of a lifetime.
What was the one where the lady lived with she had 12 girls that lived with her? Do you know about that one? It was oh my gosh.
Someone says South Park. South Park, yeah, but that's a little bit different. That's the cartoons. Lassie.
Somebody's gonna say it soon. I definitely watched Three's Company. Oh,
Three's Company, yes.
Who's the Boss? Watch Who's the Boss.
And then Tool Time with Tim Allen, Tool Time.
Facts of Life.
Facts
Trudy,
of life.
Trudy, facts
Different
of life.
strokes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then what with Family Matters?
Mm-hmm.
We've facts. Yeah, we've watched
But
all
they
of
were
those.
such like you knew when it was coming on.
Facts of life.
You knew. And also, what was neat is those were mostly standalone episodes. You didn't have to watch the previous to enjoy, which is very similar to
our
style.
video. That's our style.
Tool time. That's the other one.
Tool time. Yeah, Tim Allen. Tool time.
Yeah.
Every single video that you and I, that Paw, that Kim, that Uncle Dan creates is a standalone.
Yeah.
You don't have to know the order. What day was this recorded? I don't understand the order. I'm confused. I'm so confused. No, every video is standalone. We will normally start the video off by introducing the setting, the time, the place, build up to the plot. I thought this is a rerun of Friday.
No, I'm enjoying reading all this. Brady Bunch, Three Stooges,
Home Improvement,
Happy Days,
Welcome Back, Kotter. How much times have changed? Have you look at how times have changed.
I don't think that kids would be entertained with some of those shows because they have some dry humor in them. They're fairly slow when you compare them to today's interactions and things. And
you see my finger moving here. I'm about to pull something up.
I know where you headed with that.
This is the best ever. Now I'm seeing a lot of cool stuff coming here. The Waltons, Green Acres, Lost in Space. I can't find it. It went by too fast. But someone says
Fraggle Rock.
No,
yes.
Someone said Dallas. Yes. Now you don't know about Dallas, do you?
You told me about Dallas.
Yes, Grizzly Adams. Oh my God, you people are good. I lost it. I don't know.
Dallas Who Shot JR? Is that the same thing?
Well, yeah, but that JR was the character in Dallas that everyone loved to hate. We loved to hate JR, but he was a huge character in Dallas, and I tried. I'm sorry, Jamie, but all of us have to play our roles. And sometimes I am JR. Sometimes I am the JR of Morrow Hill. And I absolutely love playing a role. And I'm a good JR. I can also be Bobby. I can be Mary.
I have no idea what any of this means.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I think it's all the things that obviously people that are watching right now remember and enjoyed and found themselves getting excited because it was coming on. I feel like that we have tried to
Sanford and Son
to duplicate some of those things, not the storyline in those, not the characters in those, but the way that
it's our style. It's our style.
You knew it was coming. It's not a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 series. It's a standalone. It's probably about the same in length because we don't, a 20-minute video from Lester is probably the same 20-minute that would fit into a 30-minute time slot when you got intros and commercials in that era.
Oh, yeah. I could always keep talking to get extended to 30 minutes. And there's no commercial. So, boy, I could just All in the Family, Three Stooges, Howdy Doody.
But
someone keeps saying Flipper. I don't know Flipper. Is that
Flipper
the little dolphin?
Movie. It was a movie.
He was a dolphin.
He was, but it was a movie.
But it was just a movie, not an actual show that would come on.
If it turned into a show, I didn't know it was a show.
Gunsmoke, The Partridge Family. My God.
The Muppets and Fraggle Rock.
Laverne
Somebody
and Shirley,
is from my era.
Laverne and Shirley.
Golden Girls.
Little House on the Prairie.
Oh,
y'all have to stop.
Little House on the Prairie.
Yes, but you have to stop.
No, but this is so nostalgic.
Zorro. Did you ever see Zorro?
I know what Zorro
Gunsmoke. All the westerns.
Yeah, we didn't really watch. My grandpa.
Wait, what was?
We didn't really watch that at our house.
No.
My grandpa on Saturdays would watch the Lawrence Welk show.
Alf. 90210.
I love Alf. I love 90210. I love Saved by the Bell.
Jamie, we're sitting here during our live, and all we're doing is reading what comments.
And you know
Who
what?
reads comments? Who reads that many comments?
Everybody here is having a good time because it's bringing back a lot of memories.
I hope so. Roy Rogers, Bonanza, Tarzan. Yes, Tarzan.
Tarzan was on Saturdays on Channel 11. And Channel 11 didn't always come in at the house that we lived in. So we would have to adjust the rabbit ears and take away the opportunity to watch the other channels to make
that work.
That channel at that time come in.
We didn't have rabbit ears. We had an antenna that was above the house. But my dad mounted it on a pole, a big metal pole that hung right outside our living room window. So what we could do is while the TV was on, you would open the window and you take your hands around that pole and you would slowly turn it. And all of a sudden you watch the TV come in a little bit better and you close the window and watch your show. Next person who would come by, if they went to a different channel, and they'd have to open the window and they'd start turning that pole.
Our kids would never survive. Those times
our
to
kids
have
are
to
weak.
like.
Our kids are weak, y'all.
They wouldn't even be able to function without a stinking remote
Little
or
rascals.
the ability to like the fact that they have to wait for something. The waiting for anything. Like I'm sorry. I know Ellie's your son. I know that Lexi's
Careful.
your son, but they have no and this is a dig at you too. Sorry, you get to be right here for this one. I know. They have no weight in their soul. None. If there is a line at McDonald's at the drive-thru for 2 or more cars, we ain't going. Or Jamie's got to go in while everybody sits in the truck because the line isn't gonna take. I don't understand the logic, but whatever. Jamie's going in to go get the food, and anytime.
Oh, chips. Yes, and Magnum PI. Hawaii 5-0. I'm just trying to get you to stop talking about me and my kids. I'm just trying to get you to stop talking about me and my kids.
But you have no weight in your souls. Apparently, it came from being able to just turn the handle outside the window.
That's okay. I can see it now. Yeah, we would just it wasn't a handle. It was a big old metal pipe. And that metal pipe, like a flagpole pipe, and it was just in the ground, but it was able to be turned. So what my dad did was he had a bucket. He buried that bucket with a PVC pipe in it. Okay,
that's smart.
And then you put that metal pipe into the hole so it could rotate without blowing over in the wind. It was brilliant. And that's on the very top of that, he had our antenna mounted.
I think that's really smart.
It was smart.
Speaking of nostalgia, one of the things we did this week was we went to visit Solace Grocery and made a video of some things from your childhood and your youth that I think that people found a lot of interest in. And I think that it even surprised you when we stepped in the place and to bring back all those memories.
Yeah.
And now as we've driven by like 20 more times, I'm still sitting here like, I don't know why. I still have more curiosity and I wish that I could find someone who has pictures of it or time, anything like memorabilia of it. Because I feel like it's such a significant piece in history in your life and in Plum Grove. And for anybody that doesn't know, your family's house burnt down and there are virtually no pictures of y'all.
Me as a little kid. You were very rare to find a picture of me younger than the age of 18 or so because our house did burn down and all of our pictures were lost in that. Occasionally my grandmother may have had one here and there.
I think your cousin Debbie had
a couple of pictures. So it's very rare to find pictures of us.
Hers went through the Hurricane Harvey flood.
Debbie's went through the flood.
So they were all stuck together and we were just trying to peel through them to, to try to see if anything. But, we both grew up very not wealthy. We'll just say that.
Well, we were just poor.
Yeah, I would say we were dirt poor as well. And the cost of a camera plus film plus developing it was expensive. So there aren't a lot of pictures, and especially because of your family going through the fire. So I think about, and then the whole area going through the flood and so many people having left. I just don't know if there are any pictures out there, and how small the town of Plum Grove was in the first place is a whole other piece there that it's just like, I don't know. I'm not even connected to the nostalgia in it, but I felt it. And I know that so many people would love, love, love to see a picture of it in its.
Well, what's sad is that particular property is for sale. And no, we're not buying any property in Plum Grove. So y'all stop. That property is for sale, and it's commercial property. It's right there on the main road. So they're asking a fortune for that place. But we're certain that when it does sell, and it will, there'll be a gas station or a laundromat or someone will come by there and buy that place. And they will tear that. That will be demolished. And that's going to be sad because that was a huge part of our childhood. And so it was a great video. I was really surprised the day you asked me to do that with you. And it was easy to get a hold of the person who was in charge to allow us inside the store. We were warned that the store is falling apart. And there were no keys because the doors had already been off the hinges. It was in a really bad condition, and it was a great video, but it was hard to see because I had not been inside there in, I think, like I said, like 20-25 years. So
I had we called it the hardware store in the town I grew up in Germantown. My grandma actually worked in it. It was this really long building. They sometimes called it the green store because the building was this like ugly colored green. And inside it, you could buy tractor parts, you could buy candy, you could buy hardware parts, pieces to fix your plumbing, pieces to fix your electrical, all the things. But at the back side of it was the material section, which is where my grandma worked, the sewing section. And I just remember that the walls were ceiling to floor, bats of material and all the thread and bobbins and everything that you could ever need. And there were ladders to be able to get to it. And this place was huge. I don't even know if the building is still standing today because I haven't driven by there in probably at least 20 years. But it just, your little Solace Grocery, reminded me of that. And I think it brought back a lot of memories to people watching as well.
Every small town had their little store like that. And hopefully you guys still have those little stores around, but they're far and few in between now. So can we jump and shift gears a little bit to my list that I had made? I had talked about this before you even came out of the room, but okay, so everyone knows that there are some minor changes taking place with some of the animals. We're trying to find the best place to give every animal their best life, and we made a video about that. If you've not seen it yet, it will come out on whatever channel you watch, I promise. But there was a little bit of confusion, and then I don't know why, I just cannot seem to find the words to make things clearer. So I just want to remind folks, and I jotted down a couple of things. I'm not going to reference a particular comment, but someone had similarly, I'm just going to paraphrase, talked about how I'm a Survivor is no longer the same as what it used to be. And so if that is your opinion, then that is your opinion. But what I did just now, and of course this comment went on, it was one that was that long that finally got deleted. But I didn't delete the commenter. I didn't block the person because it was her opinion. It was just her opinion. But I want to remind you real fast of some of the legends and the rescues that are still and will forever be a part of I'm a Survivor, even with some of the changes that are happening, trying to help the animals, help Ellie and Megan adjust, help Jamie and I adjust to all the life. But you want to help me read some of these?
All right.
So these are just the rescues that are still alive and well, kicking, and still appreciating your love and support over at I'm a Survivor.
So we have Ringo, of course, who's the very first rescue of I'm a Survivor. And then we have Annie, who was my first rescue birthday gift. We have the rest are not in any particular order.
I didn't put them in any order. I just listed them all.
Sorry, I just had to call out the significance. We have Tilly. We have Waylon. We have Cornholio. We have Pig Trudy, Tiny Tim, of course we have Buddy, and then Donkey Dan. And don't forget that I'm a Jean, who is the original, the only survivor
of Hurricane Harvey. And all of those babies are still at I'm a Survivor and will still be featured in our daily videos. Now, hold on. You say, well, that's all? That's not very many at all. Hold on a minute. Now, on the back side of this list, I have all of the major players. Now, when I say major players, what do you think I mean by that?
Just the big characters that are...
I don't know what makes some animals big names or big characters, but they find themselves onto the camera a lot. Now, now this side over here that you're able to see is probably in reverse order for you all. This is the list of the rescues, those who we brought in as rescues. But now Jamie's going to read the list of all of the big players at I'm a Survivor who will still be featured in daily videos.
Of course, Nate is going to make sure that he's in every single video. Pablo and Adam or Steve also make sure they're in every video. We have Grey Goose, Al Davis. We have Trixie, Jolene, and now, can I say this?
You can say it.
We have Pearl and Gracie.
Oh, Pearl and Gracie have joined the I'm a Survivor team of Longhorns. Whoa, video coming soon.
We have Sissy, Old Nanny Goat, Pebbles. Of course, we have the barn, the barn cats.
Why don't you skip that one?
Lester. Okay.
It says
that says Whitebird.
It says Whitebird because
give him a name.
We have to figure out who he is, or if it's a he or a she, and all of that is playing out.
You forgot Ernie and Indy.
No, hold on. So
Peggy Pig.
I was writing when we started, Jamie. I wasn't done yet. I was still writing.
Mr. Morrow, the teacher here, did not finish all of his notes before. But the point is there's so many animals there. There's so many animals there. There are chickens that don't have names yet. There are actually grown turkeys that were surrendered to us during the winter freeze who are sitting on babies that we haven't named yet. And there are so many feathers that they need names. Of course, you have the geese and you have the mallard. You know, there are characters beyond characters that are at I'm a Survivor. And every single day they show us different pieces of their personality, and they all have stories, and whether they're rescues or they're surrenders or they're animals that we have acquired, they're all animals. They're all part of I'm a Survivor. They're all part of the story, and they're still going to be daily videos.
And they still need your love. So stop saying all the cool animals are leaving. All the cool animals are not leaving. There's some really cool animals at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary.
Pig Newton's staying.
Pig Newton is. Did someone just ask that?
Yeah.
Pig Newton is staying, yes. And then right across the fence. Now, you may want to go ahead, and if you want to disassociate these animals with I'm a Survivor, you can, but you don't have to, because right across the fence, there's Billy. That's Billy. Everyone knows Billy, old wonky horn Billy.
Billy and Granny.
And then you have Moo, you have Annabelle, you have Santoro, who Jamie calls Rip. There are so many animals at I'm a Survivor who have been a part, the same way we all recalled movies from yesteryear. Guys, these animals are still a part of our yesteryear, yet they're still alive and they're still in videos every single day at I'm a Survivor. So don't give up on I'm a Survivor because Jamie and I say we're making some changes. Please.
Are you okay?
No.
I can tell.
I'm afraid that people don't think that I'm a Survivor is the same. I'm not shaking my finger.
I know. All we have to do is just keep on being us and show them instead of telling them, because more than likely those people aren't watching this live anyway.
That's probably true. The people that need to hear this are not even watching anyway.
It's kind of like having a meeting where you're trying to correct one person, and instead you're talking to a whole meeting room full of people, and all those people are like, I don't know if this is about me.
My boss used to do that. She could have addressed that person in an email, and instead she makes the entire faculty stay after school to hear, because she wanted to make sure that everyone got the message, even though we all knew exactly who she was talking about.
Yes. So we're just going to show you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to show you. And I'm excited for there to be more content and more stories to be able to allow you to get to know more characters a little bit deeper, because in reality, there's a whole bunch of them, and we haven't been able to do the one-on-ones with everyone like we used to. So for everybody who says it's not the same, there was a time where we had 20 or less animals, and you can make a whole lot of one-on-one videos when you have that little bit of animal to care for, and you have time. Time is a gift, and I say that to you all every single week, that I thank you for your time, for giving us your time, because I know how important it is and how little of it that every one of us have. And Lester and I have spread ourselves very thin in the care for animals, the care for two properties, the care for each other, the care for our families, and just trying to do life in general and to share those moments with you all. So for the future, you aren't going to see changes on our end that you would, if we wouldn't have told you, you never would have known if you were only following I'm a Survivor. But if you follow Flip Flop Farmer, you would start to notice different changes, and we want to be champions of that and good, we're parents of that, and we want to share in the excitement around it. So we told y'all, like, hey, these big things are happening, but from our end, you aren't going to notice changes, and I promise you we're going to show you that.
Yeah, well, people don't like change, and we get that. People don't like change. You see things a certain way, maybe when you're introduced to a certain thing, and that's the way it has to always be. But this is working out best for everybody on our end. And so we just ask you to be patient. And
if you have animals that you want to know more about, tell Ellie,
because that's the whole thing. Ellie will do that. Say that. Go ahead.
Ellie is very, very much like in tune with the ask. Lester and I are probably a little bit more old and cynical and stuck in our ways.
Well, we don't do video on demand. We don't. That's funny.
That's
I'm going to call it that. Jamie and I, we're not from the generation of video on demand. We do videos. We go out and we make videos. We don't take requests. However, LE, he loves that kind of stuff. He loves someone to say, hey, will you do a spotlight video on the alpacas? And he'll like, okay. So he'll walk outside and he'll make a video on the alpacas, and he'll highlight and showcase each of their characteristics, where they came from, everything. And so he does stuff like that. So we're not trying to push you away from our I'm a Survivor content, because it's still going to be coming to you. There's plenty to do in video at I'm a Survivor. But I just wanted to address the growing concerns of, oh my God, all the changes. I used to like it the way it used to be. And ultimately, Jamie and I are in a very good place right now. And if you love and care for us and our sanity and our well-being, then please allow these changes to happen and don't be so resistant.
So I have something else to address that is probably not so positive.
Hold on. Can I hold your hand the way you held mine?
There have been so many people who are like, where are they going to live? Where are you going to live? Who's going to sleep where? I'm going to say this. It is none of anyone's business where any of us lay our heads at night and sleep. And that is something that we will not share. Hey, I will not share video.
Lean over a little bit. Lean over. I'll tell you right now, I sleep right there. I'll tell you right now, I don't care if you know. That's where I fall asleep every darn night. If I'm at this property, I will lay my head and fall asleep right there. I don't mind if y'all know. I don't care if y'all know.
Lester's like, have couch, will sleep, okay?
And if I'm a Survivor, guess what? I'm going to fall asleep on that couch. And you know what I'll have in my hand? A remote control. I am like every man that you know, I will fall asleep with that remote control in my hand, and I will not hear a thing Jamie asked me for an hour or so leading up to me snoring away.
He hears it and he answers it, and then the next day doesn't remember it, is what happened. No, but there's a lot of people who are like, who's going to live where? Who's going to sleep where? I'm sorry. I'm done sharing so much of our intimate details. And every time that we have said, oh, I'm sleeping here, I'm sleeping there, all I've done is put myself in a vulnerable situation to be able to say where I'm sleeping and in what side of the house, so that somebody can come do whatever that they want to. And we're not doing that anymore.
Jamie will not allow me to show y'all where the magic happens. Okay. I'm sorry. So this couch right over here is as magic as it gets. That you'll never know any more magic than that couch right there. And so the rest, sorry. But no, those are really kind of, if you think about it, people don't ask the things that sometimes we get asked. No one would feel comfortable sharing some of the things that you ask us to share.
And sometimes I'm like, do they want to see the inside of our toilet too? Like, because like it's so extensive, some of the asks sometimes, and so personal, that I realize that we've let people into a lot of pieces of our lives, some emotional and some visual, but at the same time, like it's not okay to have, it's not okay to demand answers like that, because I'm not going to give them, and I'm not going to let anybody else give them either. So final answer.
I think that we're all here for the animals, and we are blessed that you have come to love and accept us as well. And I say it all the time. As you say what you say, I also say, hey, thank you for accepting us with our flaws, because we have so many of them. We make a lot of mistakes. But you are right that we are entitled to a little bit of privacy. What we're doing is uncharted territory. There's never been an internet page quite like what's going on with Morrow Hill or Pages plural. And so you get a whole lot of unedited, unscripted. No one's looking over anything to cross this out and move this around and change that timeline. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. If you don't really know how to navigate a page, then you may be a little bit confused at times, or you get caught up in too much going on at too many different people's houses. It's similar to watching one of the old TV shows, but it would be like watching it if the producer took the day off, or the director took the day off and let the cast do their own thing. So each of us are independent of each other. Just know that we are all independent of each other. None of us on Morrow Hill, besides Jami and I, work together. Jami and I make sure we collaborate with each other on scheduling, time, dates, what's going to be shown, who's going to show what video. It's kind of like with our newest rescue. Jami introduced Billy Bob the day that we first pulled up to the little abandoned trailer and met him. And even though I made video that night, that was Jami's video. That was Jami's content, and she got the video from me that I gave to her. And so then Jami gave me the next video on Billy Bob, which was setting the trap, well, a couple of feedings, setting the trap, catching him in the trap. She also gave me the third video on Billy Bob, which was taking him back to I'm a Survivor, getting the stall all set up, his first meal, me being scared to touch him, him snarling at me. And then, of course, Jami has the fourth video, which has not come out yet, but it's ready to come out on Tuesday, of the vet visit. And so what we do is we work with each other, and so that we're not repeating the same content over and over. So I know it seems confusing. And then the last thing that I think is confusing, can I keep going?
That's okay.
Have you noticed in your emails or on comments that everyone says that that they keep seeing the same video over and over and over? Have you ever noticed that?
Well, it's just because it's Facebook. They're letting Facebook dictate what they watch.
So I say this as kindly as I can. If I was to go to, let's just say my friend Jason at Cog Hill, if I was to type in Cog Hill and I go to I'm a Survivor, I go to Facebook and I type in Cog Hill Farm, and a video is going to pop up. And if I play that video, guys, that is the video that Facebook wants me to watch from Cog Hill. It's not their most recent. It's my job when I go to that page to click where it says videos, and at that point, it'll put them in order from the most recent. So don't think that when you see a video that you've already seen before, and all Morrow them do is play the same videos over and over. No, you're using Facebook wrong. I'm actually looking at YouTube talking about Facebook. Sorry, but
you're hosting a meeting for people that only counts for one.
I don't know what you just said, but you have to learn how to navigate YouTube and Facebook. If not, you're going to succumb to them showing you what videos they want you to see. Now, I got a question for you. Let's see how smart you are. Why do you think Facebook might recommend a video to you if you've already seen it 3 or 4 times?
Because you watched it, because it's relevant to something you said. Okay.
Here's what I think. I think that it must have been a video that made some money on Facebook's end. And so let's just take an example of Run Maggie Run. Yeah, we've all seen the video Run Maggie Run. Oh my God, they play it all the time. Everyone has already seen it. But why in the world would Lester put that on his page again? We didn't put it on our page again. Facebook promoted it. They recommend it. They want you to watch it because they knew it was a popular video, and they want to promote popular products. They don't always promote our most recent or what in the order it should be seen in. So that's your job to do that. Right?
Yeah.
And that's on Facebook, and I'm guessing YouTube also now, because YouTube's also promoting things and recommending things now. Huh. How come you got quiet all of a sudden?
I'm reading.
Oh, anything interesting?
I did something today, and you probably don't even know about this.
Uh-oh.
So I was at the grocery store today, and I made a little video clip of this. Do you know who Lisa Frank is?
Lisa Frank. I do not.
So Lisa Frank is a designer from my childhood that did like all these neon little things. And
Okay.
they made erasers and pencils and folders and notebooks, all these things, right? And it was just like very nostalgic. So I'm at the grocery store today and I look, and here are these, pre-made cookies, and they're Lisa Frank style cookies on this thing. And I like the nostalgia, like I just saw somebody mention it.
Everyone loves Lisa Frank. Now they all love Lisa Frank now. Have
really
you seen
funny.
The Dancing Meteorologist in New York City?
Yes.
You have? Yeah. Where did you see him at?
We share a Facebook, and I see that you follow like every single one of them.
Yeah, no, he's a dancing meteorologist. He's a dancing weatherman, and he's in New York City. And I don't know why, but I like to watch him dance. And I know it sounds very weird for a man my age to watch. No, it is. It's because I'm watching a grown man dance.
It's better than watching a not grown woman dance. So, I mean, that's better. I would rather you be watching a grown man dance.
Yes, he's really good. Says Betty. He's really good. Yeah, everyone knows this guy. He's a dancing weatherman in New York City, and he dances like on studio. He'll dance on the street. There's TikToks and little short videos of him dancing like in all the popular spots around New York, which I don't know the popular spots, but Jami can identify every one of them. And this guy's just sitting there dancing like he's like a 35, 40-year-old man, kids.
I told Lester we could go to New York City and try to find him, and that Lester could dance with him.
Oh, no, that
would be awesome.
No, he's a real dancer. He's not a Lester mess around dancer.
You're a real dancer.
Jami,
you're very good at it.
Okay. You don't know what good is when
I've seen you get fancy in Crocs out in front of the gate.
Okay, now you're trying to embarrass me. I
really do think that you dance very well.
No, he's a dancing weatherman, and he always wears very nice suits and dresses up. And man, he can dance though, y'all. He can dance, and I think he's just a really neat dancer. And yeah, now you all know that I follow him. You don't want people to know where I sleep at night, but you don't mind who I follow and who I like to watch in my free time. Yeah. How strange is that? Well, hey, we've been on for an hour, and I have no qualms by saying good night now because people need to get to bed. They got things to do. They got to do their routine. Tomorrow's a work day, right?
Yeah.
So I will say that we did make some of those big moves we were talking about, and those videos start playing tomorrow. They will come out on Longhorn Lester's Facebook first. I had to think about it for a minute, and that was me thinking while I was almost going to talk. Facebook. So yes, if you do not follow Longhorn Lester's, then you should know, and I'm not trying to promote the page. I'm just trying to say that there will be videos on there that you won't see anywhere else. So that's on Facebook and YouTube. And then what's coming on your page this week?
We got some Billy Bob stuff. We got some Dixie stuff. We got some project stuff. I still have videos from when my nephews were here to still publish. Like
project stuff is right. You know that Saturday and Sunday are our days at the sanctuary. And so talk about busy. And she had me helping with one of those projects. So whenever y'all see this video of Jami working so hard and, oh my God, Jami's out there all by herself, don't think that there wasn't someone else who helped out when I was called, even though I was doing my own projects. What?
Are you really gonna call that right now that you're out there helping so much with with that project? Do you want to know?
You don't think that dragging the fields is a project? I'm on a four-wheeler, but I'm working, driving that four-wheeler around singing, I need a hero. That's work because I'm dragging the pastures. That means I'm cleaning up. I'm composting all that poop. That's why I'm a Survivor is so clean and beautiful because someone got to do that. And that's this guy. And that's not work to you. Because I can sing. And if I'm singing, it must not be work.
No.
I need a hero.
What I was saying is what I called for help with was because I was putting together this little shelf.
Don't tell everybody your video.
It's not in the video.
Oh, that.
Putting together this little shelf, and it was like cattywampus, and the fourth little bolt wouldn't go in there, and I needed one more hand to be able to help me with it. For 37 seconds, Lester Morrow comes in.
I brought a pair of pliers and did it that fast.
And that was his help with the project.
Maybe I exaggerate a little bit. Maybe I can have been known to exaggerate a little bit. Anyway, thank y'all for loving us. Thank y'all for being so accepting of our newest little rescue. And hey, remember, if anyone wants a little tag along, lap dog, a little spoon for all day and all night loving, well, guess what? We got one for you. And we got all of his treatments over here. We got all of his shampoos, his pills, all of his little meds, and they can just go right with them, right to your home. Once you go right onto your couch, right into your lap. And I love him, but sheesh. What? Just say it.
You're just mad because you're used to being the little spoon.
I want to be the little spoon. I need to be little spoon. Yeah, I want to be the little spoon, Jamie.
Y'all, thanks so much for allowing us to be part of your life tonight and for joining our live and just giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time. We're so grateful to have you along this crazy ride with us. And we just want to say thanks for loving us. So we hope you have a fabulous rest of your evening and a great start to your week. And for those in the path of storms, we hope that you stay safe and please reach out if there's any way we can help.
So it says good night to all of you spooners. We'll end it with that. Good night to all the spooners. That was funny.